What's going on? Hope you all are doing great out there. So, today I'm going to talk about 5 questions that you can be asked at an audition and how to answer those questions. So, I have 2 disclaimers for you before I get into it. The first disclaimer is whatever they ask you, please make sure to be upfront, make sure to be honest about your answers. Why? Because it will end up being worse for you, or they may even blacklist you in the industry, and you don't want that, right? So, for example, let's say they ask you, are you willing to travel to such and such place to provide your own transportation on your own dime, using your own money out of pocket, right? So let's say you say yes, but then they book you and come to find out you're not able to financially. You don't have enough money to provide your own transportation. And so that looks really bad for you, and you just wasted a whole bunch of people's times, including the casting directors, the producers, crew members, because now they have to recast and go through that whole process they did with you as far as auditioning people again. So that is time and money wasted, and they don't like that. So that's why I say, and then you also waste your time as well. That's why I say, be honest, be upfront when you answer any questions that has been asked of you. The second disclaimer, in general, the answer is always yes, unless whatever they're asking you goes against your morals, your conscience, your beliefs, or it's not worth it for you financially. Okay, so you ready to get into some of these questions? Let's do it. One question that might be asked of you is, are you willing to cut, shave, dye, or alter your hair in order to fit a specific role, right, that you're auditioning for? And so the answer is yes. Yes. The answer is yes. Unless you have to keep your hair a certain way for another ongoing gig that you're a part of, or a gig that is shortly coming thereafter, the audition, where they want you to keep your hair a certain way. In that situation, just let the casting director that you're auditioning for know about that conflict. Say, hey, yes, I'm willing to alter my hair. However, I am part of this film, short film, indie film, whatever the project is, where they want me to keep my hair a certain way consistently for this amount of time, right? So let them know about that conflict if that is a conflict, if that really is true. Another question that may come up, are you willing to work as a local hire? You're going to get this a lot with SAG projects or SAG gigs and non-union gigs too as well. You know, are you willing to work as a local hire? So I'm based in Atlanta, for example. I'll give you a practical example. So I'm based in Atlanta. And let's say the film or the shoot or the gig, the project, whatever it is in Louisiana, okay? So the question would be asked of me, hey, am I willing to work as a local hire to Louisiana, okay? Basically what that means is that working as a local hire, it saves them money. And however, it may cost me money as far as I probably would need to provide my own transportation and my own lodging. They would probably provide food, maybe a gas stipend to help me out with the gas and with the travel. But more or less, you know, it's working as a local hire means in most situations, hey, you got to provide your own transportation. You got to figure out a way to get there and report to set on time, the time assigned, or you got to provide your own lodging and find a place to stay. Okay, so again, the answer is yes, unless it's not worth it for you financially. And that's where you got to count the costs. Okay, another question that may come up is, are you available for such and such dates? What is the answer? Yes, unless you have a confirmed booking. So let's talk about that. If you have a confirmed booking that is going to be happening during the same dates that whatever project you're auditioning for is happening, you want to make sure and let them know about that conflict. Okay, so you can say, yes, I'm available. However, here is one conflict or two conflicts where I'm shooting this film or shooting this industrial or having a video shoot or a print shoot or whatever it is, right? Now, it's got to be a confirmed booking. Another audition does not qualify as a conflict. In other words, you can't say, yes, actually, no, I'm not available because I have an audition on such date, on this date, and that conflicts with your shooting schedule, right? No, that's a maybe. Now, where it gets tricky is if you are on what the industry terms as first refusal. What first refusal is, it's the closest step that, or yeah, it's the closest step that you have before you actually confirm the booking. So you're closest to that confirmed booking when you get a first refusal, or when your agent or the client puts you on what the industry terms as a hold, right? So those two things, first refusal and being on hold, are tricky because they're not confirmed bookings, but they're very, very, very close to being confirmed bookings. So I would say use your discretion in that situation. If you feel like, man, this is super close to being a confirmed booking, then bring that conflict up and say, yes, I'm available. However, I'm on hold for this gig or this project, or I have first refusal. I'm on first refusal for this gig or this project that conflicts with maybe one date or two dates or a couple of dates, right? So again, it's all about just being upfront and being honest. Another question that may come up, and I referenced it earlier, are you willing to travel or provide your own transportation to such and such place? So, before you answer yes, I would count the costs. Is it worth it for you financially, depending on the rate of the gig and how much it would cost for you to travel, whether it be by car? So you got to think about gas, you got to think about your car's maintenance and how well it drives, and if it can drive for long distances, or if right now, hey, I don't think I'm going to make it. In that case, you might have to rent a car, right? So you got to figure out the cost of that. And then also, there may be situations where you have to fly. You know, are you able to fly to such and such place, right? It may be international. It may be from one part of the country to the opposite end of the country, you know? And so you gotta count the costs before you commit to a yes, okay? But there will be times when projects will ask you, casting directors or directors or producers will ask you, hey, can you provide your own transportation? Okay, so only you can say yes or no. Only you can figure out your finances in that situation and see if it's worth it for you financially. Okay? The other question that may come up, and this goes along with providing your own transportation, is, are you willing to provide your own lodging? Okay? So again, the answers for all of these things are yes, unless in this situation, again, you got to count the costs. Is it worth it for you financially? What I think of first and foremost is, hey, do I have friends living in that state or in that location or around that location that I could go maybe spend the night or maybe crash for like 2 nights on their couch or on their sofa or whatever, you know? Do I have connections in those locations where they're asking me to provide my own lodging? If I don't, then I look probably for the cheapest hotel, motel, Airbnb, and see, okay, well, is it worth it for me financially to provide my own lodging, depending again on the rate of the gig. Okay, so again, the answer is always yes, unless, hey, this is not worth it for me financially. Well, I hope this video helps you to answer up to 5 questions that can be asked of you. You'll have a good one. Take care.